We are live,
Woohoo!
sir. We're back. Back in black.
Back in the saddle. Back in the saddle again. So how was your day going so far, man?
Fucking chaos. Try got
Yeah.
house full of sick people, all who are supposed to be in the car tomorrow afternoon, headed to parents' house. Son's out of school again, and just chaos, dude. Chaos.
Yeah, my daughter showed up to school today, had a stuffy nose, and they just said, go home for the week. We'll see you in January. I mean, they're
That
just
makes
like,
sense.
they're just throwing everybody out, because they don't know what anything is now. And they're like, oh, whatever, kick them out.
Everybody
So,
in the fucking my kid's school is just out. They're
yeah.
all out. It's
My
insane.
daughter was at a friend with some Palmetto people on at a party with a bunch of Palmetto people on Saturday. And so now she has the little sniffle cold too. So she probably got it, in
Unbelievable.
that all the kids have it. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
RSV cold or it's not COVID. Everybody's got a bazillion COVID tests around.
Yeah, no,
so.
we keep testing for COVID too, and it isn't. It's just
Mhm.
whatever.
I think
the
it's
hell this is.
RSV. I think it's the RSV one.
We were worried. We were worried because strep throat was going around my kid's school. One of my business partners, his daughter was out of school for 3 weeks with it, and we tested for that. But still, it's
Well, they'll survive. That's the thing about kids; they're strong.
Exactly.
Not like us 35-year-olds.
I wanted to quickly make an announcement to everybody. I got a few invites out for Arkham, but anybody else that wants one, Joe, did you want one?
Yeah, I did, but you didn't send it to me. So I remembered it over the weekend, but just send it when you can.
I will
Check it out.
shortly. So anybody else that wants one, I have a few left, and happy to do it. It's really, really pretty cool platform, pretty snazzy. So I will. I'll let everybody. You can DM me or on Twitter or Telegram, B05Crypto, and I'll be happy to send one out. So I have no idea what my schedule is going to be like, Joe, this week. So I don't know if I'm leaving tomorrow or Wednesday. So we're just going to have to take it as it comes and see what's.
I'm good. Same on this side, man. It's just chaos right now. So
Hey, Niblets, I actually just sent you an invite to it because I thought you had said last week you wanted it. It is the on-chain analytics system. So you should have it, buddy. Got you covered. I thought you asked for one last week, but you got one now anyway. So I figured you would like it with your analytical mind that you have.
Right? Yeah, it's definitely good data. And I love the visualizations in there too.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really nice. I got to look up your friggin' email address, Joe. Hold on.
Oh,
you're not going to tell it online, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not actually. I was just thinking that. Here, I'll put it to you in Telegram.
No, I've got it.
You do. It's the one with the starts with J, of course.
Yeah, I got you.
The Gmail one. Yeah.
I got you. There we go. Got it. All right. So it was quite the weekend. What do you say?
We 35-year-olds also have memory problems. Welcome to the club, buddy.
Niblets, that's how old you are, 35?
Shit, man, you guys are. I mean, I know it feels old when you're 35, but trust me, not. I mean, 50 isn't really old either. As long as you just can move around. I mean, the mobility is the key thing. If you get to where you're trapped somewhere, well, it's bad news. Go ahead, buddy.
Shall we have a little more non-DeFi conversations about Mr. Musk this weekend? Did you catch?
But first,
train wreck?
More importantly, nice goal by your daughter on the lacrosse field. Dude.
Oh man,
that was nice. I love that. Yeah,
I'm gonna post that the fuck up right now. Let's just do that because we can. Because it
sort of reminded me of a soccer match of my little brothers when we were all super young. I think I was like 19, and and he was so pissed off because the other team got lucky and got a goal and tied it up, and so he played center forward and basically just took the ball at the beginning, took it straight down the field and scored instantly. He was just so pissed. And that's what it reminded me of watching your gal run. So I was like, like my little bro.
And the funny thing is, she's defense, right? And she won't play mid. I keep trying to get her to play mid, and she won't play mid, and which gives her offense and defense because she has natural speed, but she likes being on D. She's got great footwork, so that helps. But anyway, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. That was the go-ahead goal to win in the whole game. So that was cool. Let me see if I can get this to open up. Oh, it doesn't.
Well, hopefully she's at home watching her dad post videos of her on.
No, she's at school. Yeah, she's at school.
Oh, she is in. Okay.
Yeah. They got school. They've.
No, I thought you said your son was out, and I might have thought that was your daughter.
My son is out. Yeah, my son is out, but the daughter is not. Here we go. There she goes. She picks up the rebound and just motors downfield, and with the easy shot. Now, here's the crazy thing about our game. So we have a goalie that does a pretty good job, right? Just pretty good. And she was out sick this weekend. And so we had no goalie Sunday morning. And a friend of we have a group of families that are all friends, and his son plays goalie in lacrosse and has for years. And so his sister had joined our team like a month and a half ago, right? But she has been playing with him and learning from him out in the backyard all this time. She comes in and just bricks them, man. She was just killing it. Has never played in a game, never played in a team practice, never done anything, jumps in and kills it. Just absolutely kills it, and made it so we could win the game. It was a close game, but it was a lot of fun watching that. I think we're going to have a new goalie on our team.
There you go.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Bringing in the ringers.
There you go. All right.
Hey, what was the over-under on that game?
Fucking knows.
No, I mean, I'm just saying as a joke because I don't know. This is South Florida, of course. I don't know if many people know this, but it's a hot Broward County or North Miami-Dade is such a hotbed for football. And the leagues start when they're like 5. And you watch these kids when they're like 8 and 9 and they're playing, and there's spreads and there's betting. And it's like the games are everybody in the stands is betting on the kids. Kids are throwing games and shit at like 10 to cover the spread. I mean, it's tough in South Florida. Everybody plays to win down here. So luckily it hasn't contaminated into South Miami lacrosse yet. But I'm sure now you're thinking,
I do hate the girls' rules, though. And all the girls hate the girls' rules because they don't let the
girls play girls' like rules?
The boys. Yeah, it's like
no checking?
Everything possible to make sure that they don't touch each other. Like, whereas the boys are going colliding into each other at full fucking speed and beating the shit out of each other. The girls are not allowed to do any of it. And the girls are all like, they still do it, right? They still do some of that because it's how you defend in the game. But anyway, it's just lame that there's maybe some wussy about girls' rules.
College level lacrosse, though, I kind of remember watching the Carolina gal lacrosse team play a few times. I mean, those guys are full gear, though, right? They're wearing pads and equipment. Because
no,
really, not even the girls in college. Wow,
no, it's lame. It is so lame, dude. It is like, and they stop play like every 10 seconds for these rules. Like even like the slightest touch of a stick across, they're like, man, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're in a boy.
Let these girls freaking play.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get it out of the.
There happened to be a really short girl on the other team this week, and you're not allowed to have the stick above their head when you're trying to check on their stick. And so the play took like forever because every time anybody was defending on this girl, it's impossible
they got a high stick cuff.
Yeah. It's impossible to have the stick below her head.
Yeah, anyway, well, at least she's getting exercise, having fun, and competing. It's like,
dude, it's a great sport. I love this sport. I absolutely love this sport. It's friggin' awesome. Oh, wrong one. I'm trying to open up a bunch of tabs so we can actually stop talking about my family and.
Yeah, let's get on to like everybody's family. Elon.
Oh, dude, and that's not even DeFi, but we got to talk.
Is he quitting? Is he quitting since the poll like smoked his ass? I think.
Well, he did say he would abide by the poll. I mean, dude, I just okay.
It's just a shit show. I mean, I'm actually enjoying. I mean, I was back on Twitter last week more than a couple weeks before that because I kind of got bored of it. But and I just now know how to not see what I don't want to see or what I just don't really want to be annoyed by.
Yeah.
And so I've been back in there more. But everything I see from this guy is it's just a total shit show what he's doing. I mean, Tesla's down 600 B basically from I think it was 100 billion market cap to like 45 billion now or something. No, sorry. $1 trillion market cap to 470 billion.
Yeah.
Which, everybody goes, but yeah, do you have 470 billion? No, I don't. But go ask the investors how they feel.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess who got to tell him how they feel this weekend? The Saudis, who own 1.5 billion of Twitter. He went to the World Cup and was in the Saudis booth.
I saw that picture a few times. Yeah.
So there's this guy Racini, who's a big investor in Tesla, was in Twitter and a bunch of other. I mean, I never heard of this guy, but he's like an agent, but he has like billions in friggin' all these companies, and he is over Elon, like just done, like thread after thread after thread, just basically saying Elon's a con and an asshole and I hate him and everything else. And now he told Elon that he was going to sell his 1.4 billion shares of Tesla to the SEC, or hand his 1.4 billion shares of Tesla over to the SEC if Elon didn't meet with him. So it's like, dude, so evidently Elon agreed to meet with him. But
why would he turn over his shares to the SEC?
He was just making a joke. I think he's basically saying, I'm going to dump my fucking 1.4 billion shares if you don't meet with me, basically.
Oh, and sell them to the SEC so then they get a seat at the table. Oh, okay.
Exactly. I guess. I didn't know the exact meaning of it, but
I would have fired him already myself if it was the board of directors. He would be long gone.
He is the board of directors is the thing. Like that's the other thing that's the problem is there is no board of directors. But I mean, look, this knee-jerk shit with the Elon jet thing, and then blocking all of these reporters who didn't. He keeps saying that we're reporting his location in real time. They were not reporting his location in real time. They were linking to sites that were still reporting it, but they were.
Well, you're just talking about the one guy, right? Sweeney, just the one guy, or
all the reporters. All the reporters.
They were all doing his location too. Oh, I didn't know that.
Not in real time. That's what he used as the excuse to ban the reporters, was that they were sharing it in real time. They weren't. They shared a link to sites in the course of reporting and writing stories about what happened. They shared a link
about the whole Sweeney thing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
That's stupid.
So, now they all happen to also be reporters who are critical of Musk.
Right.
So, the Washington Post is out with a story today that, in fact, the entire altercation at the gas station happened 26 hours after Musk's plane landed. So it had nothing to do with tracking his plane. Nothing. It's one of Grimes' stalkers or something. Anyway. Bottom line is, then he did this knee-jerk reaction thing of saying nobody can link to other social media sites from Twitter over the weekend. That was his new policy thing. And the whole place erupted. And the problem for him was all the right-wing folks are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right. So shit got out of hand this weekend. So he rescinded that policy last night and apologized. But it's like, dude, you've lost. Nobody has any faith in your ability to run this thing. Like nobody has any belief that you're competent enough to run this. And he's not. It's not what he should be doing. It's just, it's not what he belongs doing. He has no idea. Well, this is a man who doesn't know how to interact with human beings, trying to run a site that's all about the interaction of human beings. Not the best matchup. So,
yeah, I mean,
Nicholas said, I'm sure he put his thumb on that pole scale as a graceful way out. This is just another example of what happens when carnival barkers take leadership. Yeah, I think he wants out. I do. Now, I had somebody this morning tell me that they think that because Jared went with him to the World Cup. And
Jared Kushner?
Yeah. Jared flew with him to the World Cup, and somebody made the joke that the plane was full of confidential U.S. documents as well. But his theory was that Jared's going to become CEO of Twitter. You want to see a mass fucking exodus? Let me tell you.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, you got the gun in your mouth, bro. That's just pulling the freaking trigger twice.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just insanity. Yeah, I mean, I know Jared. I heard that the Saudis aren't really happy with Jared either, and that they didn't want to put the $2 billion into his fund because everybody was like, "Why do this? This is stupid. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's a first-time fund." Blah blah blah. The same thing that I had to deal with overseas. People don't do first-time funds.
Yeah,
so what are you buying?
Investment. That's a fucking
no. It's a buy.
Payoff.
I get it.
It's a payoff.
That's why, like the Qataris and Adia and Amar and all those big funds, they were all renting office space out of one of Trump's buildings in San Francisco, one of the most expensive ones in San Francisco. And somebody went into the building and got in and looked, and nobody's in the offices. The offices are empty. Yeah. These $1 trillion sovereign wealth funds, and it's just a payoff.
Of course.
So, I mean, I think the Elon Musk thing is kind of running out. I think people are tired of him. I think the money guys are particularly tired of him because he's too impulsive.
All the big institutional Tesla investors are over his shit, just over it. I mean, they made their money, and most of them, I guess, rode the way down because they're fucking screaming and yelling at him on Twitter. But yeah, Niblet says Twitter DAO decentralized it. Yeah, somebody tweeted. One of the guys I followed tweeted yesterday. So what does this mean now? I said, Twitter is now a badly run DAO because he said in a follow-up tweet that he can't find anybody that could actually competently be the CEO. So,
yeah, because to be the CEO, you got to be willing to kiss his ass at the same time and deal with all his mercurial bullshit while running a shit show, and it's impossible to do it from both sides.
Exactly.
He has to bring someone in. I don't know who it is. But, maybe that guy, when he gets done with the SBF bankruptcy, could show up here. Ray or whatever.
Yeah, James Ray.
I mean, he seems pretty fucking competent to me.
Yeah.
Because you don't need the visionary seller leader right now. What you need is the operator manager leader who can get control of the financial statements and start making some money. This is a gold mine if you just do something proper with it.
Well, but here's the problem, right? He did everything the wrong way in an acquisition. He didn't do diligence beforehand. He didn't understand who the employees were. He went in and shredded people. He started implementing policies all based on his ego, every single fucking one of them based on his ego. I mean, here's an example of how bad he is at product management. The other day, I wanted to see I know what it was. If you edit, the whole thing was if you edit your profile, either your photo or the content of your bio, then you are suspended until support can get to find out and make sure that you are not duplicating somebody else's profile, right? So that you can pretend to be him or somebody else. And I'm like, that is a level of product management stupid that I have never could have imagined. First of all, the imposters have been around for years now, right? Mm-hmm. But secondly, why not? If somebody doesn't, instead of burdening your already shredded Twitter support team with all of these people who are getting suspended, why don't you set up a search and find out that if the profile changes, match another username on Twitter, and if the photo matches the other username on Twitter, and then suspend them? I mean, his level of incompetence relative to product management and a tech product is just astounding to me. It's just absolutely incredible how bad he is. Just bad.
Well, it seems like, I mean, aside from the administrative problem of actually having to redo all these 500 million accounts, that the few that decide to change a profile, I mean, it seems pretty common. I see people kind of changing profiles a lot to add,
you can't now. Like, I want to go in and edit mine, and I can't do a fucking thing.
Like, remember during different, say the Arbitrum stuff, if you put in the airdrop evaluation, you put them on your Twitter handle, like Arb and a heart or something like that. And then you got bonus points for that. Well, so nobody can do any of that anymore either. Nope. And you can't change a thing. That's just friggin' stupid.
It's just stupid. And here's the crazy shit. I have, he doesn't listen to me. I messaged Jason Calacanis in case he would look, but I'm sure Jason doesn't like me because I criticize Elon all the time.
Who's that? His assistant?
No, that's the All In podcast guy, Jason Calacanis, who does it with Sachs and all those guys. I actually like him. He's a moderate Dem. He's okay, but he kisses Elon's ass. But the number one thing they could have done to solve the revenue problem was fix their shitty ad booking system. It is an absolute train wreck. If they had made it user-friendly for small businesses and went out and recruited the way Facebook did, they could have solved all of their revenue problems if they had just fixed that. And then they could get in to fix the other shit that has nothing to do with their revenue problem, right? He's doing all these changes without knowing anybody, without understanding how the system works, and all based on his ego, without just like, hey, wait a minute, where's our revenue problem? Right? How do we make sure advertisers still like us, and how do we get more? And that was the solution to the problem for Twitter, and they fucking just don't get it. It's like, wouldn't you go look where the money comes in and see where that could be the problem? But no.
But dude, because it's not about the money, man.
It's all about the ego.
I'm sarcastic, but look, I don't entrepreneur. I never really. Like I've said this before about entrepreneurs, whatever. You have to surround yourself with managers in operations, the boring people, because you're not going to ever do it.
Yep.
And it's going to just be a mess, a shit show like this, when it's 3 people, and it's going to be a shit show like this when it's, 5,000 people. Yep. So unless you have managers, and, that's the difference. If you're the entrepreneur visionary, be that. And, so him as a spokesperson for some kind of like, what Twitter could be, and him, saying something about that would add value.
Yep.
But not like decision-making stuff. He's not qualified for it. And if something like this is like, hey, wait, we got a problem with all this impersonation, you might want to talk to 5 or 6 or 7 people about what the approach should be rather than one. Because obviously you picked the wrong thing. And I'm guessing it's the first one that was served up, or was the one you made yourself.
I think he made it himself.
It reminds me of other people's behavior. I mean, I can go down the list. SBF, Do Kwon, Alameda chick, whatever her name was.
Yep.
I mean, just go Enron. I mean, just keep going back all the way. Every time shit goes nasty, there's somebody at the top who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep.
And they're just, schizo, going back and forth on stuff. And I understand, everything's on this. I mean, but what I didn't really understand was when he put in the term sheet and was retrading it at the end over the 40% bot presence on Twitter or whatever, which seems to be more than that from some other stuff I've seen. He never repriced it. They got into a little tiffy in the court about a breakup fee, and then he just closed at full pop. If I was going to close,
I think the Twitter people just said, no, fuck you, take it or leave it.
No, I know they wanted it to close because they know it's worth 10 billion, not 54 billion. So all those guys were trying to get that deal done. Yes, but if you're going to play the M&A game and you identify an issue like that, you got to hammer them then. You got to be willing to throw it in court for a breakup fee and haggle there, because then eventually it says, all right, fuck it, we'll do it for 35.
Right.
Or we'll do it for 45. You just have to drag it out then. And he just got nervous and I guess overshot and closed, basically. Yeah. And you want to talk about what pisses off big sovereign wealth funds? That kind of shit. Because you'll be buying it at a discount. Everything's a discount. Everything's a value buy. It ain't paying full pop or paying over the price.
Exactly.
Because of vanity. So, I saw it when he was in that Saudi royal box. I was like, those fuckers aren't even looking at him.
No. I'm sure they already gave him I'm sure they already had a chat. And then they said, yes, you may still come to the game, but.
So when the allegedly world's richest man has to eat shit from the Saudis, what does that tell you? He's not. That's what it tells me.
Exactly.
It's all the people that we don't know that are the richest people in the world.
Exactly.
They don't advertise shit. Exactly. They hide from Forbes, basically. Yep. So, that this is just it's a shit show in slow motion, basically, at this point.
Just a reminder, everybody, if you want to get a hand invite for Arkham, send me a DM or a Telegram message with your first name and email, or whatever first name you want to use, and email address. I need those things to get you access to this beautiful thing. Joe, I sent you yours.
Thanks, buddy.
Niblet says product orgs lead by sales seems to quickly get out over their skis. Recall Microsoft during the bomber years similar with many of clients. Sales isn't leadership. Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right on that. That's for sure, dude. This is somewhat blockchain related, and I want to encourage everyone to give it a shot. I tried out this peer-to-peer encrypted app called Keat earlier today, and it is unbelievable. It is video, audio, chat, file sharing, large, no limit file sharing because it's peer-to-peer. It has a beautiful interface, and the speed of the video connections, the audio connections, everything is fucking fantastic. I'll send you a link to it, Joe. I'll put the link in the show notes. But this is a really powerful platform. It's built by, it has a protocol underneath it called Punchhole, and it's built by the chief technology officer at Bitfinex and Tether. But evidently, it's got layered technology with Lightning and some other stuff. So it's really a fantastic application. Has payments built into it. You'll be able to build, applications in it if you want to, or your own interfaces to it, that kind of thing. But it's a far superior experience so far to Telegram, Signal, or anything else. So
wow,
really impressed with it. Really impressed with it. And the software that's out now does not feel like, they call it alpha, but it doesn't feel like alpha. It's really powerful, really excellent done. Well done.
Where are these guys based?
I don't know. I would assume.
I don't think U.S. right? That's the question I was getting at.
I don't think so.
US.
Paolo, the CTO, is not. He's I want to say Italy, but I'm not sure. So anyway, great application. I encourage everybody to give it a shot. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I reached out to Solomon today because I don't have enough education on this. Maybe somebody listening does. This company, Block Native, raised $15 million, and they do this generic to provide global infrastructure to Ethereum. They are doing what's called block building that didn't exist before the merge. I'm not exactly sure how all this works. So I'm reaching out to anybody who can provide me an explainer or links to explainers about what block building is. But they raised $15 million. And this closing sentence was very interesting to me because they are now currently building 10% of the Ethereum blocks. And I don't necessarily understand technically what's going on when they build a block. So, but the CEO said it's a high profile role and it's a very interesting place to be. We help determine what's going to go on chain. So evidently block builders are packaging up the blocks together before they get, I don't know. I shouldn't even speak out of turn because this article didn't do enough to clarify it. But 15 million, and they're not making money. I mean, they're making a tiny sliver of each Ethereum for it. But also there was something in here that says it also helps prevent the MEV stuff. Again, don't know how it works. So if anybody does, please reach out. I would love to learn more about it. Or if you have links or you want to come on the show and talk about it, you're welcome to do that. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do a explainer for us. Binance US is buying up the Voyager assets, Joe.
I saw that this morning. I was, I'm not going to say I'm surprised, but I think they're the only player left, right?
I think it was 1.09 billion. Oh, 1.022 billion. Is comprised of the fair market value of Voyager's cryptocurrency portfolio at a to be determined date in the future, which at current market price is estimated to be 1.002 billion, plus additional consideration to $20 million of incremental value. The company's claims against Three Arrows Capital remain with the bankruptcy estate, and any future recovery on these and other non-release claims will be distributed to the estate's creditors. So essentially, they're buying up their crypto. And I'm sure the bankruptcy guys are like, dude, prices are dropping. Let's get this deal done.
And get us 20 million so we can pay ourselves, almost lawyers.
Exactly. Binance US will make a $10 million good faith deposit. Will reimburse Voyager for certain expenses up to a maximum of 15 million should the deal not close by April 18th, 2023, subject to a 1-month extension. The agreement allows Voyager to immediately move to return value to customers. So the question becomes, does the purchase of the assets. So maybe Voyager's just selling it this way, so they don't have to deal with the crypto conversion, and then they're just going to distribute that 1.02 billion to customers. I'm assuming that's
Maybe
the whole idea here. The bankruptcy guys don't know how to handle the crypto, or whether they should sell now or wait. I don't know.
Who are the lawyers there? Lawyers got Kirkland and Ellis. I don't know, Moelis. I know Kirkland. Berkeley Research Group, Binance's Latham and Watkins. I didn't know they were working for Binance.
Yeah.
Huh. It's good intel. Look, wasn't this the one that SBF was buying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, look, I think Binance is going to be the last one standing, basically. And they seem to be, I mean, until they're not, seems okay, I guess. But if they're buying this shit up to get people whole or halfway whole again, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because these got to all be cleaned up.
There's a new, I think we've talked briefly about Scroll in the past, but they came on my radar. I got to try to find the original tweet because there is a new multifaceted wallet being released for Scroll, but this is ZK EVM. So, Polygon has one or two ZK EVM solutions, I think. But want to take a closer look at this. They're pre-alpha testnet right now, so we're not, not going to be expecting anything anytime, in the next 10 minutes. But I wanted to find this article about the wallet. Here it is. A production-ready smart contract wallet on Scroll ZKP, and it is by Unipass. Which I don't know what Unipass is. Unipass is a multi-chain unified crypto identity and universal passport to crypto world and metaverse. So anyway, look, I mean, basically with the ZK stuff, you get speed, you get, performance and security. And it'll be interesting to see all of these ZK EVM competitors that are coming out, because now smart contracts can scale better, have lower fees, et cetera, et cetera. I have a feeling, though, developers are probably going to make a bet on a Polygon ZK EVM sooner than they will on an independent one, but you never know. There may be something that's more enticing about this one that I'm not aware of.
So are you talking about the Polygon has them, or the layer 2s on ETH? Because I know like ZK Sync is around in there too.
No,
yeah,
ZK EVM is our ZK layers for Ethereum.
Right. Polygon
has one or maybe two ZK EVM projects, and then this is a separate ZK EVM project. So ZK EVM means ZK proofs with Ethereum virtual machine, so that people don't have to rewrite their code to work with this layer.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of solutions in there now, which is good. I mean, that seems to be, that's the one thing I always think about with Ethereum, with everything else out there is, it's just where everybody is right now, And when you have all these other different cross-chain, roll-up, routing solutions that all tie to Ethereum, I don't know, it's tough to stop that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you've got the critical mass, you win.
Yeah.
Jack Dorsey, who has his own decentralized play for social media that he's making called AT, that has a Bitcoin ethos to it, also gave $1 million to Signal in funding. He had tweeted last week an article about this new decentralized social media network called Nostr, Nostr. And he gave them 245 grand over the weekend to build out. And look, I think Jack has done a lot of stupid shit, but the fact that he's like saying, you know what, I'm building a competitor that's open source, but I want to foster decentralized social media, to me is a very positive thing. So I'm really glad to see him doing this. And I read through the documentation for Nostr in GitHub, and it's actually a pretty impressive model. There are still issues, just like with Mastodon, which is why I'm encouraging people not to go to Mastodon, but people are anyway. Mastodon, whatever server you're on, the owner of that server has control over you. Finding other people to connect to is incredibly difficult on Mastodon. That's why I'm advocating for Lens protocol quite a bit. It functions and looks like Twitter, that people can build their own interfaces to it. There's already a YouTube competitor on it. And it's decentralized and it's on chain. For me, It's a better solution, but what are you going to do? What does Shizzy say? Running on an EVM gives the devs so much leverage now with so many EVM projects. It's stupid not to deploy on a block with EVM. Totally agree. And I think that's why I have concerns about Solana's long-term viability. So, now let's be fair. That is existing Solidity devs, right? The other side of this is that there are millions of developers out there in the world who have no Solidity experience and probably don't want to change from what they're using. And there are all alternatives in JavaScript and Python with blockchains that we've looked at. Algorand, what was the one we looked at last week that I pulled up, Joe? Agoric. So there are alternatives, and there is an opportunity for new developers to come into the space that don't want to learn Solidity to develop. There's the Move language on Aptos, etc. But I agree, Shizzy, with you that the core existing people who are experts at building financial applications and who are already in the space and get what we're trying to do are going to more than likely go with an EVM solution than a non-EVM solution. So totally agree.
Yeah. Also, since we have Shizzy here as well, hey buddy, we dialogued over the weekend. I did tweet out that he had started up his own Substack.
He started his own Substack and he's starting his own show. So I'm really excited about that. So I think we should have him on in the next 2 weeks when he's ready to launch and talk about what the show is going to be about, because I want to encourage that. And see what we can potentially do together. So Shizzy, excited for you, man. Everybody go sign up for his Substack. What's Shizzy's Twitter handle?
Wait, it's like Shizzy87 or something like that?
Shizzy87. So everybody go over to twitter.com/Shizzy87 and sign up, follow him on Twitter, and then go sign up for his Substack because Shizzy's great. Absolutely knows what he's doing, knows what he's talking about. He will probably tell you it's not investment advice, but he's very good. He's very good.
And the report he published out on Saturday or Friday was the Hive Mapper one. So,
dude, I didn't see you posted this about Canto yesterday. Holy shit. I can't wait to read that, man.
Oh, I didn't see that either.
That's in his Substack. First thing in his Substack. Dude, doing the deep research. I friggin' love it.
I like it.
I love it, love it, love it. This is awesome. All right, cool, man. Well, we'll definitely check it out, Shizzy, and excited for you. And looking forward to seeing what you produce. But I'm going to start reading through what you've already got out here. I didn't even realize you did a Canto thing. So I'll definitely tweet that out as well. But I love seeing this happening, Joe. And I told Shizzy that we've talked in the past about a media DAO. When people, more folks like Shizzy start producing content, I think that might make sense. So we'll have to chat about that.
Yeah.
Well done, buddy. Well done. Oh, Aztec, privacy layer Aztec raised 100 million. And I think A16Z was the lead on this. Andreessen Horowitz was the lead on this investment. And what's really interesting is I read A16Z's piece on why they invested in it. And philosophically, it's obviously all about privacy and protection, but they also made the point that there are a lot of applications, corporate applications, that have to have encryption built in, right? A corporation is not going to publish their internal documents transparently on the blockchain, right? So you've got to give them something like an Aztec that's a layer that allows them to protect and encrypt that beyond just protecting all of us personally with our own privacy. And that's why they made the call on Aztec, I guess, as opposed to other privacy chains. So interesting. I'll put links to this article and then to the A16Z piece about why they invested in it. Again, just because A16Z invested in it doesn't mean Aztec is the end all be all and end all, but the partners that led the investment have a very measured approach to how they were and why they were investing in Aztec, and I was really impressed with it. So,
yeah, I like seeing capital from groups like A16Z going into new place like this because hopefully they're doing some due diligence here, which I presume everybody got the little wake up call, which validates the tech to me in a certain way. At least it makes it worth watching or putting a side bet on or something like that, because those guys will carry it as long as they got to carry it. It either dies or goes big,
right?
And so I mean, you could do all of them, but anything like this, I don't really understand exactly one of those guys who, with Web3, I can't quite figure out, to me, if all the privacy is coming from the blockchain type tech, or if there's something, if it's in, where's it all coming from? Right. And, one thing that you said, Brad, is, when you're usually putting stuff on blockchain, it is public. So you're right. There has to be that layer there too. So I guess what I'm really trying to get to is, when we see all this regulation coming down and all this bitching and whining about everything in crypto, I mean, it seems to me like Web3 is taking everything everybody complains about with crypto and taking it to a whole nother level.
Yep.
That is unstoppable. And so I'm intrigued to see how this plays out, because if everybody's just watching centralized, sexes and SBF types and all that stuff, they don't even get to Kanto or Geist or any of that shit, or barely even, they probably don't even get to Curve, to be honest. And how are they even remotely paying attention to what's happening in Web3, which is going to be everything that they don't want?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think we're in good shape, guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying here.
Speaking of which, DeFi Llama added project search, so you can see how much a project has raised over time. Wow. So you can see everything they've raised at this point. Aztec, the entries are Aztec Network and Aztec itself. I don't know if this original Aztec protocol is right, but it would make sense because the rounds match up. So seed was 2.1 million in 2018. 2021 they raised 17 million, and this Series B they raised 100 million. So I'm pretty sure. Now, I would like them. Oh, here it is. Aztec develops an Ethereum trading protocol that enables private transactions. It's the same project across the board. Paradigm was Series A and A16Z and Series B. But, $100 million.
Who was in there? Yeah.
$100 million is kind of get serious money.
Can you move it a little to the right just so I can see everybody in there?
Well, it's in this pop-up here.
There we go. Okay. Oh, sorry.
King River Capital, Variant, SV Angel, Hashkey, Fenbushi Capital, and AVG. So,
okay, show me the seed. I want to see the seed one, the third.
A Capital Ventures, Charlie Songhurst, Consensus, Entrepreneur First, Samos Investments, and Jeffrey Tarrant.
Do you know any of those two? Do you know Jeffrey Tarrant or Charlie Songhurst? I don't know those names.
I don't either. And in addition, you can download all their data as a CSV or JSON file to fuck around with if you want to take a look and do some research. I would like to see things like Twitter handles in here and stuff, but again, DeFi Llama is just always killing it. I loved that they add this search capability.
That is cool. Hey, that thing we were talking about over the weekend with one of the DeFi Llama sheets where I think it was proof of reserves of exchanges or something, and it had like the two numbers in the columns. One was like clean and the other was not clean. Remember that?
Yeah.
We talked about it. What are they saying is not clean? That's what I was trying to figure out. What does that mean?
I have no
that
idea.
Might be it right there.
Here, I'll tell you right there.
Clean assets, yeah.
Why is it? There we go. TVL of the centralized exchange, excluding all assets issued. So BNB in the case of Binance would not be included, etc. So basically, if you have your own token, this is the number without your token. Yeah,
I like that, because now you can see. I mean, look at Bitfinex. They've got 2.5 billion roughly of their own token in there.
Yeah,
in their TVL. I wonder does it have Tron? Is Tron in there by any chance? That's not a sex. But
no, that's not a sex.
Yeah, damn.
Centralized exchange on it.
I would love to see a TV.
Though. I think he owns Polynex. Doesn't he own Polynex?
Oh,
yeah, I think he owns Polynex. I guess this is everybody they don't have data on. Polynex being one.
Yeah, that's a good piece of information to know. And I'd also like to see somebody do that on like treasuries of protocols, just so we know in the treasury holdings of a protocol how much of it is their own token. I mean, because that's gotten obviously people in trouble in the past. So it's just going to think about in your analysis. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
Well, we have another asshole of the week. Senator Sherrod Brown says SEC and CFTC should consider a ban on cryptocurrencies.
Good luck with that.
Like, you fucking idiot. I mean, he did admit in the same sentence that they would just go offshore. He said he believes cryptocurrencies are dangerous and a threat to national security. Virtual assets exacerbate cybercrime, drug trafficking, and terror financing. It's like, seriously,
all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
All fucking lies.
We know what does it. It's dollars. It's cash. It's
Exactly.
banks. I mean, this is the biggest I don't know, not the biggest propaganda thing in the world, but it's like, I mean, just the fact that they don't get it, and the studies are everywhere. Just Google money laundering and see what comes up. It'll show you the numbers. I mean, the crypto money laundering problem is minuscule compared to the dollar money laundering problem, flat out. But again, what do you expect from Congress?
Yeah, I'm just look. This guy gets his money from banks. He's the banking committee chairman. Guess who donates to the banking committee chairman in the Senate?
Maybe the banks?
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember like having some buddies that, they did like 5 years in an office or 2 on the Hill, and then they go off and lobby for, I'm just not saying this is who it is, but let's say it was, the Securities Industry Association or whatever. Right. And I mean finance, not like national security stuff.
Right.
And then all they do is have skyboxes at every arena, and they just roll around, handing out tickets to games to all the, the staff on the Hill. And then who shows up at that box when all the staff of that senator is there? Well, it's the lobbyists. Exactly. And then they make friends and do favors and blah, 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 blah. And so I'm not saying it corrupts the process entirely, but it definitely influences it.
Cash, Niblet says, cash, wires, art, gems, real estate. Criminals don't need crypto for crime, and recording crimes on an immutable ledger seems like a bad idea for criminals. That's absolutely the point. The blockchain has actually tracked down probably more criminals proportionally than any other methodology, right? It's less human intensive. Once you have that data, you nailed them. And I mean,
you can see it. You can see it. It's like somebody at a crypto ATM sitting there looking around for the cameras.
Exactly.
Exactly. The cameras don't leave your problems, dude. It's like you just executed in public what you did wrong. So.
Yep, absolutely. Joe, that's all I got for today, buddy.
So we're already done. Oh, wow. Okay.
Anyway.
I'm pretty worn out, so this is fine with me.
Yeah. Like everybody in my house is sick, so it's like, bleh.
Yeah. I just want to get some fresh air. Go for a drive or something. But so look, I mean, let me take a quick look. Macro's tailing off. I mean, point off across the board. I didn't look at Nikkei yet, but I'm pretty sure that we're just having a little reduction going into the holidays. These guys, these trade fight types don't want to have to pay attention to this shit 24/7. They're like 9 to 5 guys. So expect some selling there. I don't know what's going on. What's BTC at right now? Is it sideways? Binance.com.
I'm looking.
I just lost track while we were
16,707. So sideways.
Yeah. So I mean, the bottom's not dropping out. This is just readjusting. Anytime when you raise rates and then everybody has to reprice their assets based upon the new cost of capital. So values change across the board. That's when you expect this kind of stuff. So what changed between the Fed hike of 50 and this? It was the comments after. And it was a couple of other things happened. One, the Fed also raised up its PME inflation expectation rate for next year to, I read this, 3.5, where everybody else has it at like 2.9 or 3%. So the consensus, everybody again thinks that they're just trying to hold the line against Wall Street at this point.
Right.
And so what they think is the rate hikes keep going, but then they're forecasting rate hikes at the end of next year, second half. Wow. I personally don't believe that's going to happen, but the point is that the markets have to keep adjusting, and as long as nobody starts panicking, dumping everything, and they reprice, then they come back in on a dip. That takes a couple of days or a week for everybody to just kind of forget about the change, and then everybody kind of gets to the new normal and runs on that. So again, holidays, I mean, everything looks, I don't really see any big news events out there. World Cup's over. Great match, by the way.
That was
but I
hate that stupid ending. I hate penalty shot ending. I think that's stupid.
High pressure, but again, the flopping. I just get so annoyed at the flopping. And I really want to call out that first penalty kick from Argentina when, it was like no contact. And the guy goes down in the box. And then same with at the end, when Mbappe, I think, got the penalty kick. I didn't see a lot of contact there. I saw a lot more contact in plays where nothing was called. And I just, those are penalty kicks. So to me, that's one you gotta, I remember in some World Cups, the Italians used to be really bad at that. And I remember seeing, God, this is early aughts. Who was it? Not Biaggi. I can't remember, the star Italian player in, say, 2002 time frame. He was in the penalty box and went down, and they called him for a flop and red carded his ass out of the game. I was like, wow. So, or maybe it was a second yellow. I can't remember, but it's subjective, but you see it, just the crying on the field and the whining. I mean, to me, that's just thoroughly annoying. But it's part of the culture, so I'll deal with it.
Niblett says, are there end of year tax implications keeping money out of crypto at the moment? Well, if you want to book your losses, it might be a good idea. If you are in crypto and you're down, if you got gains, probably don't want to sell any of that.
Not this year. Yeah. Wait.
But most likely have losses. And if you want to book those losses, but I am definitely not a tax advisor.
No, look,
a pro.
Yeah, well, there's two things to think about. One is, again, I'm talking U.S. regulations, the wash trading thing. Now, in equities, if you sell at a loss, you can't rebuy that equity back for 30 days. There is no wash trading prohibition in crypto, but look, there aren't any rules in a lot of ways, or noticeable rules.
They may make them up.
Formal rules. So, but I don't see any problem with, like, if you're down 95% on something right now, I would say dump it and take the loss, because look, you can buy it back in 31 days. I don't see anything we're looking at right now making any big move in the next 30 days. I mean, do you?
No.
If any of the I don't see a big turnaround in the market in the next 30 days. So
I doubt it.
I would say, fuck it, dump it all, man, and then buy it all back.
Yep.
That's not advice. I'm just saying it's something to think about. If you're in the US in particular.
Yep.
Because I don't know how everybody else does taxes, but if you had any up this year, I would suggest selling enough loss to cover whatever your up was.
Yeah.
And then maybe keep the rest. But again, you want to talk to your accountant about specifics. I'm just, talking shit out loud.
On a quick note, before we go, TON is down 11.89% in the last 24 hours, but over the last 7 days is up 12.59%. So
still around like
gave back a little
250. It's about 250 or 240.
33.
Yeah, we watched that go from if I'm not mistaken, $1 to about 270 in a matter of a week or two, if I'm not mistaken. So pull back here. I mean, this is
normal.
Yeah, I mean, but if it's depending on what your entry point is, or if you're not in, you look at things like this and you say, well, is this the time to get partially in? Because of that correction. And, we don't know. But, it's something, if you like TON, watch it and figure out when the right times are. Because I think this has some legs in a regular market. If it was an up only market, I would friggin' scream.
Yeah.
In my mind. But, again, we aren't going to have that for a while, I don't think.
No.
So anyhow, but
thank you, Niblett. Thank you, Niblett, Shizzy, Amen, for coming out to play today. Appreciate you guys being here. We love and appreciate all of you that are listening and watching. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please take 2 minutes in the app, rate, review us, subscribe, make sure you get notifications of the latest episodes. I forgot to mention something. But first I'll finish the spiel. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. It boosts us in the algorithm, but make sure you're also subscribed and click the little bell so you get notified about the episodes that come out. And one more thing, hold on, let me get this loaded up. I put out a new Mission DeFi episode today of Hats Finance. I got a new project for us to look at tomorrow too, Joe. Put out a new episode today for Hats Finance, as promised, for the third time. And you can find it at missiondefi.com if I can get the screen share to load. Anyway, this is a decentralized bug bounty system. They are also the project that is responsible for trying to claw back some of the exploit money for Beanstalk that was approved last week. That vote was approved. Thank you to everyone that went out and voted based on my push. It passed at the very last minute. Some big whales did some movements to get it to quorum. And so the Hats finance team is going to be out there digging to try to recover some of those funds. But this is a great episode. Hats is a really cool platform. It's decentralized bug bounties, incentives for every player, community, developers, the hackers, obviously, etc., and even some cool things that they're trying to do with auditors. So take a listen and take a look. And there is, it's available at missiondefi.com.
It's there now.
Yes, sir.
Cool. I'll go listen to it later on. Awesome.
All right, man. All right, everybody. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day, Joe.
You too, man. Stay safe. Everybody be careful. Enjoy the holidays. Don't do anything rash on investing, but, stay steady at this point. And we will hopefully have good information for you